is Sonia. Thank you for tuning into my channel today. Please do subscribe, like, share, turn on your notification bells so that every time I upload a video, you will be the first to know. So, our main focus for this channel is going to be on finances and everything real estate, right? But today I'm going to be talking about those who are willing to buy houses or focusing on first time or home buyers. Okay, so whenever people just think of I want to buy a home, what comes to your mind first? So I'm going to walk you through the few things or the first few things you have to start thinking or putting into consideration every time you think of buying a house. So whenever you have that thought in your mind, I want to buy a house, the first thing, number one thing you need to start doing is save money. No matter what you do, every house process takes money. It requires money. It doesn't matter where you're going to, if you're going to take it from a friend or somewhere or borrow it, or it's going to be given to you by a gift, you require money. Because guess what? No matter the loan type you take, you're still going to pay you're still going to pay money for different items when you're getting a house. So you first start thinking of, let me start saving. So let's say you plan on buying a house in the next 12 months, 24 months, 6 months. All you need to do is start saving money, put money somewhere, right? It doesn't matter. Some people are slow to actually save. Some people can save money quicker. So, but like I said, regardless of what you're actually doing, make sure you start putting money aside to plan ahead of time so you don't get surprised by the things you have to pay for during the house process. So the second thing I would like to talk about is knowing your credit score. Unless you're a cash buyer, you will need to know your credit, because your credit score is going to determine what kind of loan and interest you're going to get, and we will talk about that in depth in our next video. But what you need to start thinking after saving money is your credit. Some people might not know their credit. Some banks are good enough to actually give us a credit, right? Like Bank of America, they do. If you have a credit card with them, at the end of every month you can see your credit score. If you have an account with them, you can equally just go on different websites to check your credit if you don't even have a clue about it. Some credit websites you can go is Credit Karma, Experience, TransUnion, Equifax. So you can check on your credit from these websites to actually know what credit you have. If you see your credit and you think it's not the best, right? What do you have to do? You can either start working towards getting a higher credit score, or if you don't know what to do, you can always look for someone from Credit Repair to walk you through the process of getting your credit to where you can actually get a better qualification when getting a house. The third thing you need to do is how much you are willing to spend. How much are you willing to spend to buy a house? Know your budget, know your limit, right? You don't just want to go out there and just start looking at houses that you don't even know how much you're willing to spend to get a house. So you need to first of all know how much. So some people, they may want a better house that costs fortune, right? So as I say, no matter how much you want to spend, you need to be sure that after all my expenses, will I be able to pay for this mortgage every month? My current maybe you're renting currently. My current rent is this amount. If I add, let's say 100, 200, 300 over my current amount I'm paying for my rent, Will I be able to continuously pay this mortgage for the remainder of the years I'm gonna take it? Because guess what? Some people might take 15 years, some people may take 30 years, some people may take, depending on what you're actually going to get, right? But you need to know how much you're willing to spend for that house. So start having that in mind before you even start the process. Because guess what? Something I would not want to do is stretch more than my limit. Because after that, you need to know that there are other bills you have to pay in addition to your mortgage. So you don't want to go above something you're unable to afford and start getting into debt and debt and debt. So know how much you are willing to spend. And if you have a partner, you guys sit down and talk about how much you guys are willing to spend from both paychecks, right, every month. So that is something you really need to consider when trying to start the housing process. The fourth thing I would like to talk about is you can actually start asking the bank which you bank with, what is their qualification process? Do they offer mortgages to their customers? Do they have mortgage options? If they do, ask them what it takes. What do you have to present? What do you have to do to actually get pre-qualified? This is called the pre-qualified process, right? You go through the pre-qualified process to ask them in details. Everybody's case is different. So you want to actually have a talk with your bank to actually know what is required of you to be able to start the housing process. Maybe you don't have a bank, well, and you still want to get a home. You can actually look for a lender. There are some of these lenders that can help you through the process, right? There are mortgage companies that can walk you through the process and tell you what is required of you. But you just have to sit down and know what you need to bring or what it is that you have to do in order to start this process with either a bank or a mortgage company. And lenders are always going to help you throughout the process. And if you think you don't even have anybody or you don't know them, maybe you know an agent. They can actually walk you through, because most agents, they know lenders that they can actually suggest to you. They mostly work with multiple lenders or mortgage companies that they can suggest to you to start the process. And sorry, just to pivot back later on a point I talked about earlier, your credit. I forgot to talk about, some people don't actually know their credit scores or don't even have any credit. Like I said, except you're actually paying cash, you will need credit for anything you want to do, for larger purchases when you're buying a house, right? So if you don't have any credit, that's not going to be a problem. You just have to look for how to start building up your credit. So you can actually go to a bank and start building up your credit. Most banks offer secure credit. So you have to deposit an amount of money for you to actually start the process of building your credit, right? So you can always look for that option. And there are many more options out there that you can actually start building your credit. But whatever you do, you need to figure out a way to start to have credit in your name. That way it's going to be less paperwork, less stressful, and I would say more easier to get you qualified for a loan while buying a house. And the last thing I would like to talk about is looking for an agent, right? You cannot buy a house without having an agent. Even when people buy houses cash, most of them actually work with agents to get a house, right? So you want to look for an agent that knows what they're doing. You want to look for an agent that is going to help you through the process, right? That is going to be honest and fulfill their fiduciary responsibilities to you as their client. So you want to look for that agent that is going to be there for you. I mean, they might not give you advice because they're not legal advisors, but they will tell you honestly uh what they have to tell you, right? They will be able to fulfill their fiduciary responsibilities to you as their client. So that is something you equally need to look into while thinking of I want to get a house right now. So this is just my research and opinions. Feel free to leave comments in the comment section, and if you have more additional points that you wanna write about and make other viewers know, please leave it down below on the comment section. I thank everyone for listening, and please don't forget to subscribe to my channel. Thank you. Stay safe and healthy. Be blessed. Until next time.